not miss it. John, if you don't say cut, and he said everything he needs to say, he will go for another 10 minutes of the most hilarious stuff. You can't use it in the movie. A punch is a punch. But, also comedy is subjective. But it's the first time where I had to go and cut good jokes out of the film because there were too many.
Well, hello and welcome. This is Sonal Kalra from Hindustan Times. And today I'm talking about a very special film. It's the Prime Video's latest offering, quite an action and comedy roller coaster, I must say. And it's a pleasure to have the director, Ilya Naishuller of Heads of State. That's the film that I'm talking about. Do not miss it. Drops on Prime Video on July 2nd. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Those are very kind words. Like, do not miss it. And by the way, you one of the very few people that pronounce my name perfectly from the get-go. It never happens. I'm like, it's fine, but this was, thank you.
I'm so glad. I must confess that I practiced.
Well, that's what we do. It's movies. You're ready and you go. Yeah.
So, Ilya, you have three powerhouses in the form of Idris, Priyanka, and John Cena. Who out of the three was most fun, most serious about what they were doing, and mostly the director's actor?
They're all very director actors. Absolutely. Like each one, takes directions, enjoys taking good directions, and does whatever it is that we need to do to serve the film. So I can't pick. It'll be just I can't. And the first two questions I already forgot. So let's go again. So the third one I know, but you said the first one, who is the most what?
Most fun on the sets.
Most fun?
Yeah.
That's interesting because I think it's Priyanka, for example, when the shot's done and we're doing the relight, she'll pull up an apple box, sit next to you, and be like, what are you guys doing? How's it going? So that's fun.
Right.
John, if you don't say cut, and he said everything he needs to say, he will go for another 10 minutes of the most hilarious stuff. You can't use it in the movie.
Right.
But it's incredible. And it's like this is where you do that a couple of times a day. To the crew is just sitting there like holding their laughter in. And at a certain point, they realized you can actually laugh because it's okay to mess up the sound.
Right.
So after that, and I think in terms of just pure coolness, what interesting, just discussing things with him. It's like again, they all have their. I don't think there's a single weak side to any of them that I've encountered. And look, it's a big movie we shot for a long time, so I would have seen it. But they all have their specialty, but together it's the coming together where they support each other and make each other better. And I think there's a genuine respect between them all, which is fantastic.
That shows. I mean, we've been watching them, and the movie also shows the magic that the three of them have brought out. As a director, Ilyas, is it tougher directing a comedy or tougher directing an action film?
Comedy, of course, because
it's so tough to make
a punch is a punch. But, also comedy is subjective. Mm-hmm. And when you're trying to make a movie that works worldwide, you got to be you got to be careful with there's a certain balance you need to strike. Mm-hmm. So there's one balance between action and comedy you got to work on. Mm-hmm. But then it's the question of, it's the first time, it's only my third movie, but it's the first time where I had to go and cut good jokes out of the film because there were too many. So I never had that thing before. I was sitting there, I'm like, we just need to get out of the scene quicker. But there's three jokes. You got to keep one. What's the best one? So it was a very interesting experience for me in that respect.
No, the one-liners are fantastic, and I think all the punches are landing. I mean, that's what one got out of so I think you've been perfect in keeping all the punches intact of the humor. So,
thank you. Yes, and it's horror and comedy. I think are the part. No, that horror, the jump scares, that's kind of easy.
Right.
But great horror. Yeah. I think musical. I always heard that musicals are very difficult, but I'll find out.
Right. That particular scene when there is an explanation about what NATO does and why there is a need for people to come and synergize together rather than. I thought that was a very interesting lesson therein for the youngsters who may not be aware of. Did that thought come before you wrote the script, or did the thought of doing that scene about that explanation come later as you were filming?
I guess the goal is to make a very entertaining hour 45. The primary thing is just to make it really work, make it the high quality entertainment you can. The idea of the political messaging behind it, because I think it's worldwide, it's not specific to America, Britain, anywhere in the world, because I do want my leaders to have the qualities of John Cena. He's very optimistic, he's very hopeful. He doesn't know the job yet, but he'll get there, I believe.
Right.
You look at Idris' character, who's not hopeful, not optimistic, but when it comes to, he puts his head down, he works, he doesn't sleep much, he cares about his people. They both care about the people. Right. So in my mind, the ideal politician and the ideal leader of any country will be the combination of these two, which, very much works in the movie because It's people who don't see eye to eye who then are like, oh, maybe I should learn something from a person I don't quite like. Because we as a human species would do a lot better if we care and empathize and be a little bit nicer. And don't think we have all the answers, because not a single person has all of them.
It's come out very topical. And just and to wrap it up, if there's one line in which you'd like to describe Heads of State to people back in India and why they should watch it.
It's hard to pick one. If I had to pick one, fun. It's fun. That's it. You're going to forget about everything for an hour and 45. You're going to have a great time.